Hello, friends. We are starting the Constitution of India from today, and the Constitution begins with the preamble. So, we are beginning with the preamble, and the starting line of the preamble is "We, the people of India." Right? So, we're beginning the Constitution of India, and we are going to do it thoroughly. We will have not only a broad understanding of the Constitution, but we'll be having a deep understanding of the Constitution as well. Our approach will be more descriptive in nature so that we are able to do the mains exam better. Once we have got an understanding of the topic, then the MCQs become really easy. So let's start with the preamble. The starting line is "We, the people of India." And "We, the people of India," and it ends by "hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution." So the Indian people have given to themselves the Constitution of India. Okay, every important word we are going to do it in brief but in detail. So as you must be noticing, there are certain words which are written in capital. Not only W is written in capital, but E is also written in capital, and then there are certain connecting words which are written in normal short English. Now, what do you mean by the preamble? The preamble, in fact, is an introduction to the Constitution. So, the preamble introduces us to the Constitution. The best way to understand the preamble is, if any one of you are the PhD students, then you must be knowing about the research paper and the abstract. Now, research paper itself comprises of around 2,500 to 3,500 words. However, in the very beginning, there is an abstract of around 60 to 70 words, which gives the essence of the research paper, as it is in fact a soul of the research paper, and it gives us an idea as to what is inside. Similarly, the preamble is also in fact a soul of the Constitution, and it gives us the idea as to what we will be looking inside. So, it gives in very brief terms the objectives of the Constitution, the socio-economic goals that the Constitution has set, or we the people have set for ourselves. Right? Now, just to give an example, the Government of India Act of 1919. Now, the preamble can be with any statute also, or any law also, like this was a law, or it can be with a constitution also. So, this Government of India Act of 1919 had a preamble. Now, this preamble of the Act of 1919 outlined the British government's objective of gradually introducing responsible government in India. It also stated that India would remain an integral part of the British Empire. So, these objectives were very clearly stated in the preamble of 1919. Now, one more piece of information, and that is that the Act of 1935 itself had no preamble, no new preamble, but it adopted the preamble of 1919. So it could be an MCQ for you. Now we'll be doing this acts very thoroughly when we do the national movement. Now, a very important case was the Beru Bari case 1916. Again, we are going to do it very thoroughly when we do the topic is preamble a part of the Constitution. This case becomes really important. But what the learned judges said in this case was that the preamble is important for understanding the minds of the constitution makers. So sometimes the case comes in front of the Supreme Court, in which the mind of the constitution maker becomes very important. What they were thinking when they were making a particular provision, a particular article. So the preamble serves as a guide. In another case, which again is very important and which will again be doing it, the S.R. Bomey case 1994. I've written it by mistake 49, but it is 94. The preamble, in which the judges said the preamble indicates the basic structure of the Constitution. The basic structure theories again is very important. Keshavanand Bharti case 1973, and it said that certain basic principles are there, basic structure is there of the Constitution, which the Constitution amendment can also not change. So in this S.R. Bomey case, they said that preamble serves as a guide as to find out which provisions are the basic structure of the Constitution. And in this case, they said that secularism is a basic structure of the Constitution. Now, moving forward, we see what are the purpose of this preamble of the Constitution. It gives the source. It tells us the source of the constitution? What is the source of the constitution? And the very first line of the constitution, or the first line of the preamble, is "We the people of India." Now this is very important. The source is "We the people of India" herself. Now, just a piece of information: the cabinet mission came to India to see as how to transfer the power from British to Indians. It came in 1946. Now, out of its recommendation came the elections of 1946. From that elections, the people choose their own representatives, and mind you, that was not a universal franchise, adult franchise. There were limited amount of people who gave the vote. Anyway, out of those representatives who were chosen by the people, they constituted the Constituent Assembly, and they set forth. They first met on 9th of December 1946, and they started the process of making the constitution, which they completed on 26th of November 1950. So the constitution is direct product of the cabinet mission. The cabinet mission, the elections happened, then the next process was the meeting of the Constituent Assembly, and finally the making of the constitution. So this can be an MCQ. Then it tells us the nature of polity or the state or the government. It is sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. We'll do this in brief, every of these points. Then there are rights, and then there are freedoms also. So we have got certain positive rights and directive principle of state policy, in which government is asked to do some positive steps. For example, for hunger eradication, poverty eradication, for development of education, there is midday meal scheme. So government has done certain positive acts, but at the same time there are certain negative acts, steps also, or rights also, where the government's actions are limited. Most of the fundamental rights are in fact negative rights. Then this constitution was adopted. There is a specific date mentioned there, 26th of November 1949. And at the last, there's one piece of also information. The preamble does not grant any power to the state. So if there is a case in the Supreme Court in which Union of India is one of the party, and Union of India says that we derive our power from the preamble, so that is not the case. But conversely also, the state's power is also not checked by the preamble, but it gives a direction and a purpose to the constitution. Okay, so this is the final. And now we'll do the specific topics, for example, so sovereignty, socialism, in our next video. Thank you.